the belief that curing cancer is within our reach.
Making a difference to a world of people, most of whom you will probably never know.
What drives my passion for the City of Hope is that my children and my grandchildren never have to worry about the word cancer anymore.
My inspiration was Bud Munt, who was my boss, my inspirer, and a Hall of Famer.
For my brother, my father, and all those impacted by cancer or diabetes.
My passion for City of Hope is driven by 3 reasons: world-class medical research, core philosophy on compassionate patient care, and the wonderful City of Hope employees.
To ensure I can continue to share laughs with my family, friends, and my business colleagues and friends.
My late wife Jennifer Smith was treated at City of Hope twice for acute myeloid leukemia, and her legacy and memory continues to drive my passion behind City of Hope and finding a cure for so many different types of cancer.
I am passionate about the City of Hope because of the advanced medical treatment that it offers for those suffering from catastrophic diseases. I was one of those suffering from cancer in 2009 who turned to the City of Hope. I underwent a successful 2.5-hour robotically assisted laparoscopic surgery. It turned out to be the only treatment that was ever required. I've lived a full and healthy life ever since.
Office.
Safety.
Furniture.
Packaging.
Break room and food service.
Health.
Industrial and Jansan.
Technology.
Hello, I'm Jack Miller, and I'm very honored to have been asked to say a few words about how the office products industry became involved with the City of Hope. John Fellows will be the 43rd City of Hope honoree, and a very deserving honoree he is, just as his dad and his grandfather were before him. So congratulations, John. And congratulations to all of you in the office products industry for all that you have done over the years for the City of Hope and for all of the many thousands of cancer victims that they serve. Through last year, the industry has raised over $270 million for the City of Hope, and this year we'll push it even higher. That's a long way from that first dinner where they raised $65,000. That old saying, great oaks from little acorns grow, certainly applies here. So a little bit of history. In 1982, an office furniture dealer in Chicago, Aaron Hall, wanted to help one of his employees who had cancer, and he reached out to the City of Hope. They suggested that perhaps he, Aaron, could have a dinner to raise some money for them. Aaron came to me and asked if I would be his chairman, which I agreed to do. At that first dinner, we raised $65,000. And at that first dinner, the development officer asked me if I would agree to be the honoree for a second dinner, which I agreed to do. And at that second dinner, we raised about $150,000 or so. And the development officer turned to me and asked me if I would set up a small committee to plan for future dinners. By then, I had learned a great deal more about City of Hope and about the great work that they do, and I was more than willing to do that. I invited a few people to meet with me to discuss this, and we had breakfast or lunch, I don't remember which, at a delicatessen in Skokie. As we had more increasingly successful dinners honoring only those who deserve to be honored, the industry began to enthusiastically embrace the City of Hope for an industry effort. So on this 43rd event, I stand in awe and amazement with what has been developed from that very small beginning. I've lost a wonderful father-in-law, a brother, and my late wife to cancer. I recently had a small bout of it myself, which has been cured. So I know firsthand how important this work is. So again, John, congratulations on receiving this great award, and congratulations to the whole industry for what you are doing and for all of the many thousands of lives that you are affecting. Thank you all very much.
Hello and welcome. My name is Steve Schultz, and it's my honor to serve as the chairman of the National Business Product Industries Executive Council for the City of Hope. And I am so grateful to have you join us today for this special virtual tour. And as you just heard from Jack Miller, we've enjoyed such a rich history of industry support, icons and industry legends, all of whom have taken leadership roles and made valuable contributions of time and money to support the amazing work done at the City of Hope. Shortly, you'll be hearing directly from our 2025 Spirit of Life honoree, John Fellows, who'll be sharing some exciting details on this year's Expanding Hope campaign. As all of you know, the wildfires in Southern California impacted our ability to host our annual on-campus tour. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to everyone in that region, especially the dozen City of Hope employees who lost their homes, and the nearly 400 employees who were evacuated or displaced during this ordeal. And yet, during personal chaos and the disruption of this natural disaster, the employees of City of Hope rallied to continue to prioritize and deliver care to the most critical patients. City of Hope is more than just an institution. It is a place of hope, of healing, and of the promise of tomorrow's scientific breakthroughs. Every day, dedicated researchers and compassionate caregivers work tirelessly to develop and deliver innovative treatments for cancer, for diabetes, and other life-threatening diseases. Treatments that not only save lives, but change lives forever. And this mission would not be possible without champions like you. For 43 years, the national business products industry has been a proud supporter of the City of Hope. Through fundraising activities, awareness initiatives, industry-wide collaborations, we've raised in excess of $270 million to advance vital research, enhance patient care, and bring hope to those who need it the most. Thanks to your dedication and generosity, we fund cutting-edge discoveries. We provide critical resources to patients and families, and we help the City of Hope move closer to new cures every single day. So as we take you through this virtual tour, I hope you're reminded of the positive impact your support makes. And if you're just learning about our industry's efforts and this incredible cause, we're glad to have you join us today. Through every dollar raised, every moment shared, every partnership forged, and every patient helped, what we do makes a real difference. Well, as many of you know, the national business products industry selects an outstanding executive to be honored as a City of Hope Spirit of Life honoree. This year, we are proud to recognize John Fellows for his leadership and commitment in advancing our industry's efforts in support of the City of Hope. John and the incredible team at Fellows Brands have showed amazing agility, moving from an in-person tour to scheduling and planning today's virtual event in a matter of weeks, and without missing a beat, has launched this year's campaign with incredible momentum. I'm truly excited to see the impact we'll all make through this year's Expanding Hope campaign. Now, before we continue with our virtual tour today, let me once again just say thank you. Thank you for being part of our industry's rich history and supporting the City of Hope. Thank you for believing in the power of research to create tomorrow's therapies. And most importantly, thank you for being an instrumental part of giving hope to those who need it the most. Enjoy the rest of the tour.
What does it mean to be a city of hope? What began more than 100 years ago with caring and compassion, with a hand outstretched to people in need, has grown, has transformed into a powerhouse of cancer and diabetes research. To be a city of hope is being curious, creative, collaborating to drive science and discovery, then bringing it to the bedside with unprecedented speed, backed by the brightest minds in medicine and clinical research, propelling us to top 5 in the nation for cancer care. It's pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge, making discoveries previously unimaginable, transforming medicine, and finding more powerful and precise ways to eradicate disease, believing that cancer and diabetes have an end date. Being a city of hope means being called to this work. It means fighting relentlessly and never giving up, forging strong partnerships with those whose passionate support is fueling groundbreaking ideas and turning them into cures, making hope a reality for all who are touched by cancer and diabetes. It's continuing our legacy of compassion, combining excellence in treatment with unparalleled care, holding your hand and never letting it go. And now City of Hope is making advanced cancer care accessible to nearly 90 million people, with locations across Southern California, Phoenix, Chicago, and Atlanta, growing, yet never forgetting the heart of who we are, who we've always been, a place that sees the whole person, the whole family. To be a city of hope to more people everywhere.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time to join us today. As we embark on this journey of expanding hope, it is my privilege, it is my honor to be here speaking with you all, members of the national business products industry. At City of Hope, we understand our responsibility to bring promise to people who have lack of hope, to bring hope to those people. And it is a deliberate action. It does not happen per chance. It is the result of compassionate care. It is the result of leading edge science. And it is the unwavering belief that every person deserves access to the very best cancer treatments. It does not matter, should not matter where they live. I myself joined City of Hope more than 2 decades ago. In fact, I was just supposed to be training here, and this place grabs you, and the people are so amazing that they attract you to this place. And this place, over the last 2.5 decades for me, has been a place that constantly inspires me. Due to the entrepreneurial spirit of the people, the quality of the people that makes us, and more importantly, the collaboration of the people for a common cause. From the very beginning, City of Hope's mission has been to heal and to cure, and to make that happen in a manner that lifts humanity, that is human. Over the last several years, this mission has expanded beyond our Duarte campus, which is where we started more than 110 years back. And it has reached patients across the country in communities like Phoenix, Atlanta, and Chicago. As you know, our discoveries, like discoveries of insulin and somatostatin and monoclonal antibodies, has reached the world. There are people across the world who benefit from these treatments, whose lives are saved. They may never have heard of City of Hope. But in the country, in the United States, we have now physical presence in Phoenix, Atlanta, and Chicago. And this expansion is driven by one simple truth: access to care saves lives. If you look at today, depending on your zip code, depending on where you live, your outcome will be determined by that as much as it is by the disease. Doesn't just determine how long you live, how well you live, but also determines what complexity, what toxicity you will have. And at City of Hope, we are committed to changing that unjust reality. Whether it is offering genomic breakthroughs at TGen in Phoenix, whether it is bringing diverse clinical trials to Atlanta, or whether it is providing convenient and world-class care in Chicago, we are ensuring that our promise to our patients remains the same. No matter what door you walk through, you will receive City of Hope standard of care. One of the most unique aspects of this model is our ability to integrate cutting-edge research with care for the whole person. And a perfect example of that is our integrative oncology program. This program is a holistic approach to cancer care. It draws from learnings from diverse cultures, whether those are Chinese herbal medications or Eastern healing traditions or traditions of yoga and mythology in India, all of that coming together in this integrative oncology program. If you go to the market today, you will see many herbal medications. You will see many treatments that are available, and some of them really have benefit, and some of them not so much. It becomes our work to put these medications and these drugs through a rigorous clinical trial and see what works and why. Why does it work? And that way be a constant learning institution so that from learning to taking it to the patient, learning again, taking the patient, that time is shrunk. And with our expanded footprint, we're not only delivering this extraordinary model of care to more patients, but we're also advancing science, we're advancing research that will make integrative oncology more data-driven, and it will make it more impactful. This is exactly what makes City of Hope truly special. Our ability to innovate while never losing sight of the human being at the center of it all. And what makes all of this possible is your generosity. Your support enables us to deliver not just treatments, but also deliver hope itself to patients, to families, and to the communities that we serve. It empowers us to break boundaries in research, extend care to the most vulnerable, and prepare the next generation of physicians, of scientists, of surgeons, of medical oncologists to carry this work forward. For me, I wear multiple different hats, but the most rewarding aspect of my role is to see this direct impact of your generosity. City of Hope is an organization whose plinth, whose foundation was built on generosity. Many of you will know that for close to 5 decades, we did not even take insurance from insurance companies. All of this was driven by philanthropy. And philanthropy at City of Hope and elsewhere hasn't and does not just transform buildings and programs. It has and it will continue to transform lives. You will all hear more examples of this throughout the course of the Expanding Hope campaign. So I thank you for standing with us, for believing in us, and for being the cause of hope for so many. Together we are proving that there are no limits to what we can achieve when we act with purpose and when we act with compassion. Thank you.
Whew, all right, giddy up. So back in June, it happened rather quickly. My husband and I were taking a quick weekend getaway for a work trip that he had. I didn't feel so hot, but at the time I was working a lot. There were other stressors in life. So I had maybe a couple of weeks where I didn't feel at my best, but didn't think anything of it. Went on the trip, got pretty sick, was diagnosed in Florida with COVID, came home, isolated the entire trip and when I got home, but the next day had some extreme abdominal pain and it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel COVID. So I went into the emergency room. They did a bunch of scans and I'll never forget the doctor coming back to me and saying, okay, everything's good. Yes, you have COVID, you're fine. The abdominal pain is just your cancer. It's from your tumor on your kidney. And that was a shock because I had never been diagnosed with cancer and I was convinced, no, that's not my chart. That's not me. I don't have cancer. He apologized profusely and said, "I'm so sorry. I thought with a tumor that large, you must have been in treatment. But you do have it, and we have to get this treated right away." So upon that initial diagnosis was shock, and I thought I had kidney cancer, but they sent me home, told me to get in contact with oncologists and a bunch of other specialists. Before I had time to even execute that, my organs started shutting down. So by the next day I was back in ER. They assembled a team and found out I actually had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma with a BCL6 mutation, and it was growing rapidly. And I really didn't have time to process the diagnosis. I just had to breathe. And they had to figure everything out and figure out next steps and how they were going to treat this. So in 1 week from when I was admitted was my first scare. They did not know if I'd make it through that night. And I was rushed into ICU, and I remember very little about that day, but there are two things that stand out. So a plug for Fellows family, number one, is that particular day, a box of cards were delivered from my coworkers, and my husband read them to me all day. I was in and out of it, and those words kept resonating. You have to be strong, you are strong, you have to come back. And I remember being rushed into the elevator. I remember the code blue. I remember the doctors, bits and pieces of it, and most of all, I remember those words of encouragement. So I truly believe that that support network is what allowed me to live through that night and make it, because I was tenaciously, that was my last thought before going under, is I'm coming out. So there were tears, there were hard times that first month, because it was mostly the unknown. It was mostly the shock of it, but at the same time, that was a gift, because I didn't have a lot of time to process anything other than healing. And so I never had anything other than hope. It takes everything away physically, more than I thought it would. I have trouble walking. I have trouble getting out of chairs. I have shortness of breath. I don't have feeling in my fingertips. Clearly, it took all of my hair. Not necessarily a bad thing. All of that is just, it's aesthetics. It doesn't matter. It never really did to me. So I'm very fortunate that I know I'll figure out the physical part of it. I know I'll get stronger. It's just delayed. That's probably the hardest, is taking for granted, being able to button something when you don't have fingertips. Those kind of things I have to get used to. Mentally, though, it didn't strip me. I was meant to survive this. There's more work for me to do. It could be a week from now, it could be a year from now, it could be 10 years from now, but it's not today.
Hey, it's Barb. I'm live from City of Hope at the Zion campus, and here for a quick update on how I've been doing. So my cancer's been progressing in the opposite way very nicely. It's been reduced through about 6 months of pretty intense chemo. I had met with City of Hope. My first interaction with them was early on when I was diagnosed with cancer. Because the first time was so urgent when I was first diagnosed, I was a patient at my original hospital, but I met with City of Hope for a second opinion, of course, and to see which hospital would make the most sense for me at that time. And I met with Dr. Rodriguez here in the Zion campus, and he was fantastic. He, in advance, went through all of my scans, all of my records, everything that I had to date from the emergency diagnosis to that day. And that was back in August, actually. I was already 2 months into my treatment. And he had met with me and said, you know what, everything that they're doing at your local hospital is what we would do first here in Zion. So because you're so close to home and you have a family network and friends close by, stay where you're at. Keep sending your records to us. And if something changes in your diagnosis, we're ready to pivot quickly and start treating you here if needed. But for now, we would do the exact same chemotherapy that you're having there and all of the tests and everything else. So that really put my mind at ease with City of Hope. They weren't looking to make rash movements. They were really interested in my care. And I felt that because they met with me for an hour, talked about my case in specifically, and wanted to do what was best for me holistically. The care, we knew the medical care I was getting was the same, it was comparable, but to be close to family and friends at that time meant everything to me. So now things have pivoted. Now my cancer isn't fully gone, but I responded well to the therapy so far. Met with Dr. Rodriguez again a couple of months ago and said, okay, what's next? It's not gone. And my primary oncologist had recommended that I meet with City of Hope again because I would need stem cell or CAR T therapy. So that's where we are today. I visited City of Hope for a bunch of tests at the end of December, and I'm here again today for my final biopsies to really get into the science of which path of care would be best for me. I'm one of the lucky ones. I have responded really well to chemo, and Dr. Rodriguez and his staff here said I really have 3 roads I can take. I could do radiation, I definitely could do CAR T, and that's where we're leaning, or I could do stem cell. But before making that decision, they know that physically I qualify for all of 3 of those, and they are all 3 viable solutions. But what they're doing is getting deep within the cell structure of my body and figuring out really which path would be right for me, my physiology, my DNA, let's say, and what would warrant long-term success. And that's where we're at. So after today's biopsies, I should find out which of those 3 paths, most likely CAR T, potentially stem cell, I'll be on, and then I'll be back in Zion within the next few weeks to start hopefully what I consider that final step for treating and hopefully eradicating my cancer. Everybody at City of Hope has been fantastic. I mean, I've been here quite a few times now, and between the people at every station greeting you and seeing you, you know, I feel seen here. Not just, I don't feel like I'm another cancer patient. I feel like I'm part of their team. I feel that they hear me and I help them make decisions that are right for me. And I think that's really important. And one thing I really learned here that stands out beyond the science is that City of Hope administers all of the little details on your behalf so that you can really focus on your healing. And it's simple things. They have an app, and on the app on my phone, I can see what appointments I have for the day. When I was here in December, I had 14 appointments over the course of 2 days. And through my schedule, I could see exactly what elevator to take and where I needed to check in at what time, and not have to make any of those calls myself. And that's important because if I was running behind schedule, I wasn't stressed. The next appointment could see where I was at in my appointments and know that I would be delayed, or that they could call the nurse and say, move this around. And that's what they did to make sure that my experience was the best it could be while I was here, what could be considered under stressful circumstances. And they take that administrative stress off of my plate completely, so I can really focus on everything that's important at that time, which is healing. So it's just been a great experience at City of Hope. I'm very lucky that I get the opportunity to come here for the final leg of my treatment. I feel I'm in really good hands between everyone that's here. Definitely my doctor, Dr. Rodriguez, shout out to him and his whole team. I'm just comfortable and still haven't lost a day of faith, knowing that I'll come through this in the best way possible.
Well, I'd like to welcome everyone to our call today, and thank you, Barb, for sharing your story and being willing to do so. We are all behind you and inspired by the way that you're not only handling this challenge in your life, but taking the time to let other people know of your story, as well as inspiring people to be part of fundraising and really finding tomorrow's cures for these challenging situations that people find themselves in. I'd also like to thank all of the individuals who have contributed to this virtual tour today. Unfortunately, we're not able to do the live tour this year, but I think there's a blessing in disguise here. And I'm very grateful for all the people who've contributed to putting this program together in the past 2 weeks. In addition to those who have taken the time to participate, I'd really like to thank everyone on the call and for taking the time to be here today. I would like to go through the City of Hope campaign with you for the coming year. Each year we have a campaign that is really an effort to raise our funding raising support as much as we possibly can in order to put more firepower behind City of Hope. And it's been successful, as you can see, over many years. And we're really excited about what we have in front of us this year. Our Expanding Hope campaign is really all about engagement. We're working to try to bring new people into the program this year. We're also looking to bring new activities to engage those individuals on top of the great foundation we have of support that has been behind City of Hope for many years. And so as it relates to those on this call, I'm asking you to ask yourself the question, would you be one for hope this year? Would you take the initiative to add a brick to the building that we are building as an overall greater industry? We can't do what we're trying to do without a lot of individuals stepping up, without a lot of programs and activities. But it comes down to one person and $1 at a time. And so we would be thrilled if you would join the campaign this year and find a way to engage and contribute to what we're trying to do really from this moment all the way to September. Well, I'm happy to say that we have 30 events already lined up for this year that are going to be rolling out between now and September that are all going to be contributing towards raising money for City of Hope. And I'd like to thank all of the companies and all the individuals and industry leaders who are spearheading those activities. It really requires leadership. It requires initiative, and we can't thank you enough for your continued efforts. If this is something that you're interested, that your company is not involved with, and you'd like to do an annual event to raise money for City of Hope, maybe that's integrating it into your vendor conference that you have or other events that you might have that's standing within the year, please connect with Kathleen Ty at City of Hope. We have a great template and a way to conduct this fundraising activity that really brings a lot of spirit and brings along with it a lot of inspiration. And so if you are not involved in an activity like that and would like to do that at your company, please connect with Kathleen Ty, and we'll have the information here posted so that you can connect with her through email. Well, what I'd like to do with you today is cover some of the high points of the 2025 Expanding Hope campaign. I hope that you'll see ways that you can engage or get involved in the campaign this year. We've got a wide variety of some updated events as well as some new events. And first off, I just encourage everyone, if they have not followed our LinkedIn page, please do so. This is a page where we're going to have all updates, communication for the campaign, and also any new programs that we decide to do throughout the year will be launching through this communication vehicle. So please join if you haven't. The first event that I want to talk about is actually a new event that we're trying out this year, and it's an opportunity for everyone to contribute towards a challenge, which is going to be investing in our own health and making us healthier, while at the same time raising funds for City of Hope. And it's called the Step, Run, Ride event. It is really a 3-part event that you can participate in one portion, 2 or all 3 portions of it, and it's going to be over 3 separate months. First off, in the month of May, we're going to have a step challenge. And the step challenge is a challenge to complete 200,000 steps in the month of May. So that breaks down to about 6,500 steps a day, which is really what's recommended to lead a healthy lifestyle. And what we're asking is for people to join in contributing to this campaign in May. The way that you can do that is to commit to 200,000 steps in the month and reach out to your friends and family and let them know that you're doing this challenge and fundraise through a Classy or GoFundMe page that we will be sending out and making available to people. We'll make it a very turnkey for you to be able to participate in this event. But the Step Challenge is the first one, and that's in May. Then in June, we are going to have a challenge of running a half marathon. This is an event that is going to be on June 14th. And we are asking anyone, wherever you're at, to chart out your own course and run a half marathon on that day in support of City of Hope. And in the same way, register on your Classy page and raise support through your friends and family for doing that. I think it's going to be a really, really fun thing that we can do together as an industry. I remember the first time somebody challenged me to do a long run, and it was daunting, but I just took a step and I said, yes, I'll do it. And I trained for it, and we will hold your hand through that process. We will have a training program that we will be sending out and help you take those steps 3 months before the event. We recommend that people start their training for this program. And through all the events, we're going to have an opportunity for people to send in their pictures and their videos of them breaking the finish line tape and doing that in a way that's fun and personal to each of you. So that's going to be the run program, and the run program is in June. And then in July is the ride. And the ride is really based on a personal goal for each individual. You will put out a goal for the month of a certain amount of miles that you are committing to ride, and in the same way, reach out to family and friends and raise support for that event. All 3 events are going to be a lot of fun. We are going to ask for people's feedback, but also their videos and pictures as they're going through training. And on race day, it's going to be a really fun one for the half marathon. But throughout the whole program, we'll be posting and having a lot of fun along the way. So we hope that you can join us in the Step, Run, Ride, and Be One for Hope, as this is an event that anyone can participate in. Not only in the United States, but around the world, and we're hoping to get a number of people to really participate in this program. Well, the next event is the Bob Parker Memorial, May 13th and 14th. This is an incredible event commemorating an incredible individual who had his own fight with cancer. Bob Parker made an incredible impact on our industry and many, many people across the industry. And this is just an incredible way to not only recognize him, but also pour our energy into doing something positive and good for future individuals who might have the same challenge and fight. The Bob Parker is going to be at Stream Song this year, which is right outside of Tampa. We've traditionally held this at a different location, and we've changed the location this year. And so it'll bring with it a certain level of energy and excitement. I've not played this course, but I've heard it's incredible. I can't wait to play this course. And of course, we'll have golf packages. But in addition to that, we're also going to have some other packages this year, which hopefully bring in and attract other individuals as well. We'll have a spa package. We also have a package with skeet shooting and archery and fishing. And so there'll be a wide array of ways that you can participate in this event this year. We're really, really looking forward to doing something new here, and we think we're going to have a great turnout. June 2nd and 3rd, we have a new event as well, which is our first annual Hope Award Golf and Gala event. This is going to be hosted by Alan Tomlin and the Facilities Break Room and Safety Council. An incredible event at Lake Oconee, which is the Ritz-Carlton property, which has just an incredible golfing venue and overall experience. It's going to be a great opportunity to get the Facilities Break Room and Safety industry together at a dedicated event for the first time this year, and we hope you'll be able to join this event. Well, the last event that I want to talk about today is a fun one. Each year we have an honoree event, And this really brings an industry-wide audience to a very special venue. And I'm excited to say that we are going to be at Medina Country Club this year. When people hear at Medina Country Club, they normally think of world-class golf courses, which is definitely there. But there's lots of other activities at Medina, and we're excited to tap into those this year. And so instead of just a golf event, we are going to be taking over all 650 acres of Medina and having lots of different ways to participate throughout the day. The activities that we have will be broad, but also there will be kind of a festival-like atmosphere where throughout the day there will be music and we will have a DJ, we will have food and opportunity for people to connect socially. So it's going to be a great fun activity that we can do together as an industry, but also raise a lot of money for City of Hope. And we've got some pretty high goals for our event this year. And so we're hoping that we will get a broad range of people participating across the United States and in the Chicago area as well. First off, the golf event will have 3 different options to choose from. Medina number 3 has actually just been renovated this past year in a $23 million project. It launched in July of 2024, and so this will be the first full season that the new course will be open. It's a course that has already attracted an incredible event, the President's Cup, which will be there next year, and they are planning on many new and different golf events to be scheduled there from the PGA. This is really a big step forward for the club. So we know there's going to be a lot of intrigue on this new course, and we're hopeful we'll be able to pack that out. We also have 2 other courses, Course 1 and Course 2, which are also world-renowned courses, incredible courses. Course 1 is for more of the intermediate player, and then Course 2 is a more approachable course for anybody who wants to play. So the golf is going to just be an incredible experience, but a wide variety of courses to choose from. In addition to that, we're going to have a racket sports program as well. Medina has a tennis facility, a paddle facility, and also pickleball facility. And so we're also going to be having some really fun tournaments that are going to be going on. In addition, if you have not played or you are just interested in learning more about one of these 3 racket sports, we will have an instructional program there as well, where we will have somebody conducting lessons. And that's going to be a really fun aspect to the Saving Lives Honoree event. And then in addition to that, we have a 3-part field tournament that's going to consist of a bocce ball tournament, a croquet tournament, and a putting tournament. Medina has facilities for each of these that are specialized to each of those sports. And it's going to be a 3-part tournament, as we said, which we will have a scoreboard on. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be as competitive as you want it to be, but at the same time, it's also going to be as social as you want it to be as well. Well, as I said, this is going to be a really fun event. We hope to see you there. I think it's going to be the largest event that we've pulled together as an industry outside of the gala. And so you don't want to miss this one. Well, that wraps up our time together. I really want to thank again all the presenters, all the individuals who joined the call, and all of your support for pulling this effort together this year. We've done this for 43 years now. It's something that has sowed a lot of good seeds and resulted in a lot of good developments by way of changing people's lives and honestly bringing our industry together as well. And so I hope that you'll be able to participate, join us in one way or another, and be one for hope. Have a great day. Thank you.